I'd like to ask you one more questions regarding tomorrow's class. So do you know what's going to happen in tomorrow's class? Because can you remember I asked about the dream and you shared with us what's your dream, and I asked you what's the first step, and some of you said there's going to be IELTS score, and some of you say there's going to be guidelines, proper guidelines. So what's going to be topic for tomorrow's class? So what's going to Farhana share with you that's going to help you a lot in the future? Type in the chat box if you still can remember. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's going to be all about guideline. So she's going to help you to go through the whole journey. Even she came to this country, and she's going to share her journey as well, and what she's doing, what she started doing when she came to this country. So that's going to help you a lot, and you will get the proper guidelines from someone else who is living in this country and who is going through this journey. So if you have got any questions, all I recommend from you is take your questions, write it down, and once you have got tomorrow's class for guidelines, ask her. She's very friendly. She's going to answer you questions. And also, we're going to introduce our student consultants as well. So I know some of you are taking preparation for IELTS here and there. And once you finish your IELTS course, you're going to make your application. So always I recommend you not to wait till the last time, because if you wait till the last time, till the last minute, it's gonna hamper a lot, because probably you might miss the deadline of university, probably you might miss the deadline of offer letter, conditional offer letter, unconditional offer letter, or probably payment. So that's why we always recommend you to make the application ASAP. And if you have got some sort of pending documents, of course, later on you can provide them, and this is how it's going to speed up your journey. So of course, okay, Carol said I want to go to UK. Esano said USA. Okay, of course, Farhana will share it to A to Z tomorrow. So don't miss the class tomorrow. That's going to be fantastic, fabulous, and very, very important class. So don't miss it, right? Now, I'd like to share my screen. And okay, and the next class on Tuesday, that's going to be with Steve. And Steve will share it to everything, ins and out about IELTS. So then don't miss the Tuesday's class as well with Steve. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll just fabulous and very, very important class. So I will pull up my screen right now. So let me get it right now. There you go. Okay, so who submitted homework? Can you please type in the chat box if you submitted your homework? And basically, I would like to know how many homeworks have you submitted. So if you have submitted all of the homework, please type in the chat box 3. If you have submitted 2, please type in the chat box 2. If you submitted 1, type in the chat box 1. If you haven't submitted any homework at all, please type in the chat box 0. I really would like to see how many homework have you submitted. Just let me take a look on the chat. I'm really curious. Okay. Okay. A lot of students, they have submitted 3. That means all of them. Okay. So if you have submitted 3, I mean 1, first, second, and third, that means you have submitted all the homework. So Vivo said 1. Vivo, I would recommend you please submit the rest. I mean the remaining 2 homeworks, because if you don't submit your homework, you cannot claim your certificate, right? I think on the screen you can see the certificate. So you will get one of this certificate. Okay, Ryan said 3, SNR said 2. So if you miss any homework, I would definitely recommend you please submit your homework as soon as possible. Irene said 0. Okay, Irene, I'm not sure why haven't you submitted your homework. So if you haven't submitted your homework, that means, what should I say? Moinul Islam said 0. Moinul, do the homework and submit it in the Facebook group. Otherwise, first of all, you're not getting benefit out of it, because all the benefits in the homework. So whatever you learn from this class, if you don't homework, that means you don't learn it. Okay, excellent, excellent. A lot of students are saying submit it all. Excellent, congratulations. So today's class is very, very important for IELTS student. I'd like to see how many of you are taking preparation of IELTS or intend to take preparation for IELTS. Please type in the chat box. How many of you would like to take preparation for IELTS or taking preparation for IELTS? So please type in the chat box IELTS. I'd like to see. I'd like to see how many of you are taking preparation for IELTS or think you gonna take preparation for IELTS. So type in the chat box IELTS. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, excellent. So if you're taking preparation for IELTS, this class is gonna be very, very useful for you. And if you haven't taken preparation for IELTS, still you can do with us. And on Tuesday, Steve will share with you ins and out of IELTS, and then you can start taking IELTS preparation with Steve. So today's class is all about the past tense. And now I'd like to share with you something is very, very related to IELTS. So, in an IELTS exam, there are three parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. So part 1 is basically a bit introduction. So examiner is going to introduce himself or herself, and you need to introduce yourself as well. And they're going to ask you a few questions. So what's the reason you are taking for IELTS exam? Is it a study or work, something else, right? And then they will ask you a few questions, and then they will give you a cue card. So a cue card means there will be a topic, and once you get the topic, you will get 1 minute, and the examiner will invite you to take pencil and paper, right? So once you get the pen and paper or pencil or paper, so you need to take some sort of notes. And once you get the notes, so it's going to help you a lot to speak. So then after 1 minute, examiner will tell you, okay, so your time is started, let's start. And you need to say, hi, today's topic is this, and I'd like to share with you, You're going to start, keep going until the examiner stops you. So this is how you need to perform on cue card. And after the cue card, then examiner will ask you a few questions according to your answer. So for example, the cue card is a holiday, and you have said a lot of things, and probably the examiner will ask you, so what's the most delicious food you have had in that holiday, right? Some sort of mutual interactive questions examiner will ask you. So this is all about the IELTS. But what happened in IELTS is once the examiner will probably the topic is in present form, and sometimes he's gonna ask you why I'm talking all about she, because my examiner was a lady, that's why. So probably she might ask you some sort of questions using the different tense. For example, the topic is a holiday you are planning to go, right? So in future, you got to tell a lot of things about the holiday, and all of a sudden she's gonna ask you, so last year, did you have any sort of holiday, and where have you been? So then the examiner will ask you some questions. So what was the most delicious food you had in your last holiday? So see, the examiner started asking, or the topic is future, then present, then she is switching it to the past. But what happened is during the exam, students become nervous, and they don't notice that which tense examiner is using. And that's why they make mistakes, and they start using the same tense, whatever they have used in the last question. So you got to be very careful. And today, this class is all about the past tense. So I'll give you some hints and tips. So what sort of words, probably 1 or 2, if you listen, then you got the examiner, and you need to answer according to the tense, right? So are you excited for today's class? If you're really excited, please type in the chat box, EXCITED, excited. I'd like to see how many of you are really excited. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thanks for responding. Okay, thank you. So just keep in mind that be careful, don't mix with present and past while answering the examiner. Right, so this is the pretty much what is called a structure. So subject plus verb, but for past tense we're going to use verb to. For example, I gave an example, practiced. Right now I'm going to give you some verb 1 and you need to make it verb 2. I'd like to see how quick you are to give me the verb 2. So the verb is go. Can you please type in the chat box, what's the verb 2 of go? Let's see. Okay, you have to be very fast, you have to be very quick. Okay, that's right. So the verb 2 of go is went. Next one, I'm gonna tell you, you got to be very quick, right? So what's the verb 2 of listen? Listen. What's the verb 2 of listen? Type in the chat box very quickly. What's the verb 2 of listen? Okay, excellent. Excellent. So next one, understand. Understand. Okay, that's right. That's right. Thanks for responding. Understood. See. See. Okay. Okay, want. Want. Okay, wanted. That's right. Attend. Yeah, that's right. Attended. Attended. Get up. Get up. Take. Okay, that's right. Took. Make. Yeah, that's right. Made. Drink. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, so this is the thing. So if you'd like to make, if you'd like to talk about the past, you've got to be very careful because you need to always use verb 2. So for example, is want, wanted, learn, learned, accept, accepted, right? So this is called regular verb. Regular verb means there are some sort of rules. So if you follow the rules, you can make from verb 1 to verb 2. These are the typical examples. So want, wanted, learned, learned, accept, accepted. So if you look into it, you can see just adding ed, we made from verb 1 to verb 2. But there are some irregular verbs as well. For example, I asked you, so go, see. So there is no rules and regulation for this. You got to memorize. So these are the 2 things you need to remember. So always I recommend you is, if you go to Google and if you search the list of regular verbs and list of irregular verbs, you'll find a lot of PDFs. I would definitely recommend you print them out and hang on the wall somewhere else, right? So once you come to the study room, you can take a look and you can see that's the one way to memorize all the regular and irregular verbs. But the effective way to memorize or to utilize the vocabulary is, if you don't understand a meaning of a word, go to Google, because now you don't need to use dictionary. Go to Google and type Bengali to English, right? And write down the Bengali word and you will get the English word. Once you get the English word, then make 2-3 sentences. So once you make sentences, it get into here and you will not forget it. So this is the best way to learn vocabulary. For example, take a topic and try to make loads of sentences. If you don't know the exact word of from English, type in your language, for example, Bengali to English, or Hindi to English, or Urdu to English, and learn the right word from Google. and once you get it, make 3-4 sentences. So once you made sentences and once you started using them, you will never ever forget it. So still, can you remember? There are the 4 things examiner considers in your speaking test. Can you please type in the chat box? What are the 4 things you got to consider while you are giving IELTS speaking test? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. There are the 4 things you need to consider while you are going for a speaking test. 4 things. What are the 4 things? Type in the chat box. What are they? Okay, so Tondra Cherry said fluency, grammar, coherence. Okay, one is missing. So what are the 4 things? Please type in the chat box. What are the 4 things you need to consider? Okay, Natasha said fluency, vocabulary, coherence, and grammar. Excellent. That's the 4 things. So vocabulary is one of them. So all you got to do, you need to learn vocabulary. This is the way. So you got to take a topic. For example, the last topic was, what does your favorite person do every day? So probably your favorite person was your mom or dad. Probably he does a lot of things. You don't know the exact English. So go to Google and type Bengali into English or Hindi to English or Urdu to English. Type the word, your native word, and learn the word. Then try to use them in a sentence. So once you use in a sentence, you will never forget it. That's the first tips for the vocabulary. And the second tip is, always we use the same word time and again, time and again, time and again. So instead of using the same word, what other words, other vocabularies try to use them. For example, the first time if you say, I'd like to say, second time you say, I'd like to express, third time you can say, I'd like to opine, fourth time you can say, I'd like to articulate. So see, I have used 4 words for the same word. So try to use different words instead of saying the same word. And also try to use different types of structure. For example, the first time you have used simple sentence, second time you use compound, complex, these sort of things. And try to use some sort of vocabulary, passive voice as well. So if you use this sort of structure in a way, so the examiner will understand that you have got full grasp of English sentence making structure, and you will get more and more score, right? So there are 3 ways you can improve your speaking. Can you remember? I said the first one is if you just type in the Google and find out the list of regular and irregular verbs. So once you get them, hang on the wall, and once you come to the study room, you can watch them, you can read them, and this is how you can memorize them. That's the first thing. Second thing is, you need to take a topic and you need to study speaking about the topic. So if you don't understand, then go to Google and type from your native into English, get the word from English dictionary, then utilize them in a sentence, try to use them 3-4 times. And the third tip is, once you, simply you can understand and you can use a lot of sentences, a lot of words, but what I found is you are using the same word time and again, time and again. In that case, try to use different words, and this is how you can improve your speaking score in IELTS, right? So is it helpful? If it is helpful, please type in the chat box, helpful. I'd like to see how many of you find it helpful. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. So now, if I ask you, what did you do yesterday? Just very simple question. What did you do yesterday? So if I ask you the morning, what did you do yesterday? Give me 2 actions, 2 activities. What did you do yesterday in the morning? Type in the chat box and try to use verb to. It's not 1, it's 2, verb to. So give me 2 activities, what you did in the morning yesterday, not today. Okay, give me the verb. For example, you went to gym and went for walking. Okay, made breakfast and did exercise. Okay, excellent. Thanks for answering. So what are the 2 actions you took in the morning? Type in the chat box. Okay, Robin said I cooked chicken and I did my breakfast. Okay, excellent. So 2 activities, please share with me. I went to the grocery. I did calligraphy. Okay, excellent. Made a breakfast, then I started university class. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, now give me 2 activities you did in the afternoon. After 12 o'clock, what did you do? Type in the chat box. Why I'm not saying today? Because if it is different time zone, it's going to be confusing. So that's why I'm referring to yesterday. So it got to be past from. It got to be verb to. So Raha says say prayer. Okay, it got to be said prayers or perform my prayers and had lunch, right? So past from verb to. So excellent, had lunch. Okay. Now give me 2 verbs using verb to. Okay, Robin said I attended an interview and having lunch. Okay, say I attended interview and had my lunch. I played cricket. Excellent. Verb 2, not verb 1, verb 2. So what did you do in the afternoon yesterday? I'm referring past form. Okay, so Tandra said learned and listen. Okay, excellent. 2 examples. So type in the chat box. Rashid said I took rest, played football. Okay, excellent. Went to market, ate lunch. Okay, that's right, ate lunch, but usually we say have lunch or take lunch. So it has to be had lunch or took lunch, right? We never ever say ate lunch. I had my lunch and took rest. Okay, excellent. So I would like to see 2 actions you took yesterday in the afternoon. Okay, I did my class and prepared homework. Excellent, excellent. So the last question I'm going to ask you, in the evening, what did you do? Okay, Rifa says saw, it got to be watched. So I watched Bangladesh versus Australia T20, right? So past from verb 2. We don't say saw, we say watched. So watching TV, okay, watching football match. Okay, so I completed my class and finished my study. Okay, excellent. I went to the rooftop and watched a movie. I was thinking I went to the rooftop, then wanted to jump from the rooftop, right? Okay, excellent, excellent. No, I'm just kidding. So I played cricket, then I went to outing. Okay, I went outside. Okay, excellent. Took some snacks. Okay, anything else you did in the evening? Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I will show you the same thing what you just. Okay, so these are the verbs you have used, right? Can you please take a look on the screen and can you please read them out? So got up, brushed, made, had a cup of tea, got ready, took bus, arrived at office, started working, had lunch, took rest, started working, left office, went to the tea stall, took a cup of coffee, took a bus, returned home, refreshed myself, watched TV, attended 15 days challenge or 6 days challenge, finished my homework, got together with my family, took some snacks, helped to cook, took dinner, read books, chatted with my family members, took a look on my tomorrow's plan, got ready to sleep and went to bed. So these are all the, so can you see all the verbs on the screen? Is it verb 1 or verb 2? Type in the chat box. Is it verb 1 or verb 2? Type in the chat box. So the vocabulary, you need to use the past form. Is it verb 1 or verb 2? Okay, it's verb 2. Excellent. So now what I'm gonna do, I will request you to answer me the question. The question is, what did you do yesterday? The question is, can you please type in the chat box? What's the question? What did you do yesterday? Type in the chat box, please. The question is, what did you do yesterday? And you need to put a question mark as well. So what did you do yesterday? Right? Yeah, that's right. What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Now, can you answer me? What did you do yesterday? If you can, please type in the chat box. Yes, I can. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll unmute yourself and I'll ask you the question and you need to unmute yourself and you need to answer me, right? Okay, so please unmute yourself, right? The question is, what did you do yesterday? 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, how are you?
First of all, I got up early at I brushed my teeth and made my breakfast and then had a cup of tea or coffee and got ready for my
Ready for
and
I
university.
made breakfast. I had a cup of coffee. I got ready for office.
my study.
I took bus to train. I
I had my
arrived at
lunch.
office. I started working. I had lunch. I took rest. I started
Later
work.
was
Studying.
left
I
my
started studying. Office. I went to a tea stall. Took a cup of coffee. I took a bus. I returned home. I refreshed myself.
and home and
And I
TP
attended
attended
from
and bench my homework.
lunch. Then I took rest. After that, I took your class, which day English challenge. Then I
Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that. Now, I'm going to give you a challenge.
I slept 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, still there. So now I'm going to give you the opportunity to give a presentation. The topic is, what did you do yesterday? And your time is only 90 seconds. Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. How much time I'm going to give you? How long will you get? 90 seconds. So by 90 seconds, you got to give me all the sentences. So you have to speak a bit quicker, faster, so that you get the fluency, you get the confidence. And later on, if I give you another topic, so that you can keep going with your flow, right? Are you ready? If you're ready, please type in the chat box READY. Excellent. Excellent. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you this opportunity. Your time is 90 seconds. So you have to speak a bit faster. All you got to do, you need to say, hi everyone, my name is Habib, and today I'd like to share with you what I did yesterday. Usually, yesterday I got up early in the morning at 7 o'clock. Then I went to washroom, I brushed my teeth, made a breakfast, then I had a cup of tea. Then I got ready quickly to go to office, and then I took bus and I arrived to office at 9 o'clock, and they started working. So you got to just keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't stop until you finish, right? Your time is 90 seconds. So keep in mind, you got to speak a bit quicker, faster. So I know you're ready. What I'm going to do, I'll unmute yourself. So you need to start something like this way. Hi everyone, my name is Habib, and today I'd like to share with you what I did yesterday. And then you need to start. Don't stop until you finish, and count how many sentences you made, right? So let's say you keep speaking and you're counting, right? Yesterday I got up early in the morning, then I brushed my teeth, I made a breakfast, and I had a cup of tea, then I got ready. So keep counting and keep speaking, right? Two things together. So please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, my name is
Hi
Hi everyone, this is a you and today I would like to tell you about what I do yesterday.
I had a cup of coffee.
Got up
A
at
cup of
7
tea.
o'clock
Got
and I made
bus or
breakfast
train.
and
I
all
arrived at
the
office. I started
utensils,
work.
then I and ready to study.
In office, I went to a tea stall. I took a cup of
I
coffee.
made
I took a bus home. I refreshed myself. I
I
watched sleep.
prepared,
I attended a
then
15
I
training.
returned home and
I got together with family. I helped to family member. Okay, look on
lunch. After
tomorrow's
that,
plan. I got
I
ready to sleep. I went to bed. To bed.
tired,
members on look and tomorrow's plan. If went
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So can you please type in the chat box? Did you make it? 90 seconds, all the sentences. If you made it, please type in the chat box. Yes, I did. Did you make it? I'd like to see how many of you made it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I did it quickly. Okay, excellent. Congratulations. Okay, thank you. Now type in the chat box. How many sentences have you made? Type in the chat box, please. How many sentences have you made? 35, 27 to 30, around 55. Excellent, Asma. Arman said 15. Okay, 45, a lot, nearly 40, 30. Okay, excellent, excellent. That means you're on the right track, right? So don't give up. Don't give up, right? Still, I can remember when I was trying to learn English, I was struggling a lot. Even I don't know how to make a sentence. And when I learned from somewhere else, and I was imagining in English. So I was thinking in English. I was especially talking to myself in English. So once I started making a lot of sentences, I felt so much good. Oh my God, now I can understand in English. I can listen in English. And I can speak in English. So there was some sort of joy. Do you feel the same way as I felt when I started learning English? So obviously, I would say is kind of a smartness as well. So still I can remember, as you know, my father was a teacher, and so he was invited in a marriage ceremony, and he took me with him. And I met one of the professor from Malaysian University, and he was ex-dean of Dhaka University. And I went there, and my dad, he introduced myself to him. And the person, I don't know what's the reason, he started speaking English, and I started communicating with him in English as well. And at the end, he was very surprised. He said, how come, he studied at University of Chittagong, he studied in history. And how come, you are so fluent? And he did his PhD from Manchester University. And I'm talking about 2009. And my dad, he was listening to our conversation, and he was feeling so proud that my son is speaking to my student who graduated from Dhaka University and did his PhD, and he's now a teacher of Malaysian reputed university. So that's some sort of smartness as well. So if you can speak in English, you should feel proud, right? So how many of you are feeling proud right now? Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see. I'd like to see how many of you are feeling proud right now that, yes, I feel proud. I can speak English, right? Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Congratulations. So now what I'm going to do, I'll take you to the breakout room. Can you remember the experience of breakout room? So I'll take you to the breakout room because, I cannot hold the responsibility, accountability to you. Now I'm gonna put you inside the small room so that you can speak together as you did in the last class. So the topic would be the same. So what did you do yesterday? So there will be 3-4 people in a small room. So the first person will say, "Hi, my name is Habib, and I'd like to share with you what I did yesterday." And the 3 people, they'll listen to him or her. And the second person, then third person. This is how we're gonna enjoy the presentation in the breakout room. So are we ready for the breakout room? If you're ready, please type in the chat box ready. I'd like to see how many of you are really ready to speak in a small room, and you'd like to give a presentation. So I can see here. Okay, so I have created the breakout room. Please click and join. Don't stay here as you did in the last class. So just you need to click and join, and you need to go to the breakout room, and I need to give a presentation. Go, go, go. Don't stay here. Click and join. Okay, now I can see a lot of people are joining to the breakout room. Please join to the breakout room. Don't stay here. Don't waste your time. Still, I can see a lot of people are staying here. Don't stay here. Please join to the breakout room right now. all I'm gonna go, I will visit in a breakout room, and yeah, I'll support you from there. So please go to the breakout room and join there. Don't stay here, please go to the breakout room and join there. So who'd like to give a presentation here? I can see almost 9 people are staying here. So who would like to give a presentation? So Nazmu Sadat would like to, okay, he's just joining. Shahabuddin, would you like to unmute yourself and give a presentation? Okay. So the question is, what did you do yesterday? Who would like to give a presentation? Please type in chat box me. So Okay, Rahmatullah said me. Let me find you out. Aljas, would you like to give a presentation right now? Okay, got it. Rahmatullah, please unmute yourself.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Rahmatullah Yaqubi. Yesterday, I got up very early because I had to go to my work, and I made a very good breakfast for myself, and I made prepare myself for my work, and I left my home at 6 o'clock, and I took a bus. When I took a bus, I dived in my workplace, and I started my working until 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, I ate my lunch, and I started my working again until 6 o'clock. When at 6 o'clock, I finished my work again, and I took a bus again for home. And when I arrived home, I test for a few minutes, and when I woke up, I watched a serial for 30 minutes, and then I ate dinner with my family, and I did my paperwork and my homework for tomorrow, and at 9 o'clock I slept for now. Thanks.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So can you please type in the chat box, how is his presentation? Rahmatullah, where are you from?
I'm from Afghanistan, sir.
You're from Malaysia. Okay, excellent. Thanks for joining us. Okay, please type in the chat box, how was the presentation? So I'd like to take another volunteer to give this opportunity to speak in front of a lot of people. So who is ready? All you got to do, you need to just turn on your video and just wave so that I can see you and I can pick you up. So turn on your video. Who is ready so that I can see you and I can pick you up for the presentation. Who is ready? Okay. Okay. So Aliras, can you please give a presentation?
Hi everyone, my name is Abdullah Riyaz, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about what did I do yesterday. First, I woke up early at the morning at 6 a.m. Then I brushed my teeth and went to my bathroom to get ready. And then I just went out to pick up a bus, and then I just go in my university for my study. After that, when I just go over there, I just finish my couple of classes, and after that, I came to my canteen and finished my breakfast and went to my study room again. And after that, I just came back to my home, and I just took a shower and get some refurbishment. And after that, I came to my family and have gossip with each other. And in the evening, I took some teas for my refreshment and went back to my study room to complete my homework. And at the night, I watches TV for 2 hours. And then I just go with my siblings to finish my dinner. And after that, I use mobile phones for 2 or 3 hours. And then I just went to bed. And this is how this is how I passed my yesterdays.
Excellent, excellent. Yes. So please type in the chat box. How was his presentation? And next winner is Ihsanur Rahman Saim. So please unmute yourself and give a presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Ihsanur Rahman Saim. Now I am talking about what did I do yesterday. Actually, first of all, I got up early in the morning and I take my brush teeth and complete my face wash. Then I complete my breakfast with my family members, and then I prepared to playing cricket, and I complete my cricket. Then I I complete my lunch in at 2 o'clock. Then in afternoon I played. In afternoon again I played cricket and prepared for my 6 days challenges class. Then in evening I watched Bangladesh vs Australia cricket match. Then I I don't proud because of Bangladesh lost this match, and I complete my study and prepare and finished my to-do list. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. So who is next? So Husnain, could you please unmute yourself and share with us? So how did you pass your day?
Yeah. At first, I woke up early in the morning, then went to washroom to take shower, and then after shower, I came back to start my study. Then 8:30 a.m. I went to restaurant to eat breakfast. Then I came back my home and attended my online class. At 9 a.m. my online class started, and 12:13 a.m. 12:13 p.m. it ended. Then I took rest. At 1:30 p.m. I took my lunch and then went to.
Okay, Husnain, thank you. Thanks a lot. So Snigdha would like to share with us. So how did you enjoy yesterday? Okay, not available. So Nazmus Sadat, please unmute yourself.
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Okay, one moment. Nazmus, you are the next one. Okay, go on.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Snigdha. I am a student of 6 Days Challenger. Today I would like to share with you what I did yesterday. At first I woke up 4:30 a.m. in the morning and I go to washroom to get fresh myself. Then I complete my prayers, and after completing my prayers I would like to sit for study. I usually study for 1 hour. Then 7:30 a.m. I went to kitchen for making my breakfast. After making my breakfast I complete my breakfast with my family. Then I am watching TV. Then I clean all the rooms and I go to take a bath. Afternoon 1:30 o'clock I complete my prayer. After finish my prayer, I complete my lunch. Sometimes I go to bed and sometimes I'm watching TV. That's all my part.
Okay, thank you. So please make sure you're using verb to, right? Nazmus Sadat, please unmute yourself and share with us. What did you do yesterday?
Hello, sir. My name is Zahid, and I'm gonna share my homework, like what did I done yesterday. So let's go. I had to wake up early in the morning, and then I had a little walk on the garden, and then I had my breakfast, and then I had a cup of tea, and then I had studied for an hour, and then I had go to the outside of my home and play cricket with my friends, and then I had come back to home and do my Johor prayer, and then I had my lunch. I had my lunch, and then I had studied for an hour, and then I had do my after prayer, and then after after prayer in the afternoon I had played cricket again to my friends, 2 or 3 matches. After that in the evening I attended the I had attended the Zoom class, Zoom education Zoom class, and then I had done.
Thank you, Nazmus Sadat. So let me share my screen again because I need to take everything on time as well. Sorry for that, as I couldn't give the opportunity to everyone else, but we had spoken in the breakout room, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'll share with a story. So learning got to be enjoyable, right? Just, can you please type in the chat box? Are you enjoying the classes? type in the chat box. Are you enjoying the classes? Just I'd like to see. Okay. So let me tell you, real story is, I think in the first batch, we have got one student, her name was Nasrin Sultanat, right? So she was one of the students like you, and then she finished 10-day challenge, and then she attended what is called IELTS preparation course with Steve, and she got 6.5. And later on, she provided us all the documents, and we made application for 2 to 3 universities, and she got offer letter from University of Ulster and a few more universities, but she chose University of Ulster, and she made the application, she paid the tuition fees, and she got the visa, and she flew to the UK, I think this month, 1st of August, and now she's doing quarantine at Heathrow Airport, and I'm gonna pick her up with her family, because she flew with her husband and 2 kids as well. So just I'm going to give a favor, I'd like to see them as well. That's why I'm going to pick up them from the airport. So last time when I had spoken with her, and she said, "Sir, I couldn't believe that I'm in the UK right now," right? Probably it seems like, because she was, I think she came into the class online, and she stayed here like 2-3 minutes, and she left. And I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I had spoken with her and her husband as well, and she said, "I can't believe that I'm in the UK." It was an enjoyable journey. Just I was thinking like, probably a few days ago, just I joined to the 10 days program, and then took IELTS, and time went so fast, and you helped us, you guided us on the right track, and that's why I'm in the UK. And during the quarantine, I'm enjoying the class, and on Monday, her quarantine is finished, and Tuesday, I'm gonna pick them up with her husband and kids as well. So life is all about a journey, and you got to enjoy it, right? If you feel that, okay, it's hard, it's difficult, I'm not enjoying, you can learn it. Can you remember when you see, I mean, these days kids, right? If their mom and dad would like to feed them, they say, no, I don't like to eat. They run around here and there. But when the mom and dad, they take a mobile phone and they play cartoon, and they're just laughing, smiling, they're watching the cartoon, and at the same time they're eating, right? So whatever you're doing, it got to be enjoyable. So if you understood me, what I just said, please type in the chat box. I would like to enjoy whatever I want to achieve. Type in the chat box. This is very, very important, right? So you have just started your journey, I think, and you said also you have started enjoying this class. So life is all about a journey, and you got to enjoy it. So you have started enjoying, and you need to keep going, and keep going, right? So this is your homework. So what did you do yesterday? Still, I saw a lot of people, you made a presentation. I appreciate that you did very well, but still you're making a lot of mistakes. And for myself, this is not my mother tongue, right? And that's why I also make mistakes. Even I do a lot of meetings with dean, university, vice chancellor, pro-vice chancellor, and still I made mistakes. Who cares? If they understand me, and if I understand them, I can do the business, right? And even if I make mistakes, if I go to the bank, if I punch my bank card, the money is coming from the bank booth. Then the bank booth is not telling me that, hey, Habib, you made 3 mistakes, so you're getting less money. No. But as a student, to get a better score in IELTS, you got to be a bit careful. But if you enjoy the whole journey, anyway, you're going to score a good score in IELTS exam. And you don't have to get like 8, 9, 8.5 in IELTS. If you get a 6, your life is settled. You can make application almost each and every university, right? You don't have to think that I got to be 8, 8.5 or 9. If you get it, that's fine, congratulations. But if you get 6, I would say, alhamdulillah, you made it. Your life is easy, simple. All you got to do, then just you need to follow the guideline, you need to make application, and you need to study in the UK, US or Canadian university, and you get to settle there. That's it. Very simple. So the homework is, what did you do yesterday? This is the homework, but the class is not finished yet. We're gonna go a bit further, right? So now this is the structure we have practiced, right? So in the last class, we have practiced do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. But for the past form, it got to be did plus subject plus verb. Please type in the chat box, did plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Type in the chat box, did plus subject plus verb plus question mark. You got to be very, very, very quick, right? Did plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Yeah, that's the thing. So now using this structure, I'm going to ask you some question. So did you attend? Okay, keep going, finish it up, then I'll move in. Okay, did plus subject plus verb. Excellent. Did plus subject plus verb. So that's the structure we're going to follow. So as we are talking about the past, so instead of do, we are using did, right? So for present form, we have used do or does. For past form, we use did. So did plus subject plus verb. So now if I ask you a question, did you attend the last class? Please type in the chat box. Give me the answer. Did you attend the last class? Did you attend the last class? Yes, I did. Your answer is yes, I did. If you didn't, then answer is no, I didn't, right? Okay, so yes, I did. Okay, excellent, excellent. Did you submit your homework? Please type in the chat box. Did you submit your homework? Type in the chat box. Did you submit your homework? Yes, I did. Answer is yes, I did. Now the next question I'm going to ask you. Did you learn Chinese in the last class? Type in the chat box. Did you learn Chinese in the last class? Did you learn Chinese in the last class? No, I didn't. Answer is no, I didn't, right? So this is how you need to practice. You need to ask question. So once you'd like to ask someone else regarding the past, so you need to use did. Did you understand me? Type in the chat box. Did you understand me what I just said? Answer is excellent. So here is the tip. You got to understand. So when the examiner will ask you a question using did, you got to answer him or her using the past form. So if the examiner asks you, so did you enjoy your last holiday? The answer should be in the past form. If the examiner asks you, where did you visit last year? Your answer should be past. If the examiner asks you, when did you take your holiday? Your answer should be past. Now I'm going to ask you a difficult question. If the examiner asks you a question using the present form, which form should you use to answer? Type in the chat box. If the examiner asks you a question using a present form, which form should you answer? Type in the chat box. Present form. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Next question I'm going to ask you is going to be a bit difficult. So if the examiner asks you a question using the past form, which form should you use? Type in the chat box. If the examiner asks you a question using the past form, someone said present form. Yeah, that's right. If the examiner asks you a question using the past form, verb to, which form should you use? Past form, right? Now, I'm going to ask you the toughest question in the world. Are you ready? If the examiner asks you a question using the future form, which form should you use to answer? Type in the chat box. If the examiner asks you a question using future form, which form should you use? Type in the chat box. This is the toughest question in the world. I'd like to see if you can answer me. That's right, it's the future, right? So always notice which form the examiner is using. So if it's present, answer in present. If it is past, answer in past. If it is future, answer in the future. You got me? So if you got it, please type in the chat box, I got it. Type in the chat box, I got it. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So now we know. So when we see did, that means the past. So we should answer in the past, right? So now the same way we're gonna make a lot of sentences. So why? Okay, before that, it's better. I mean, if you make a question, it's gonna be easier for you to go for the next structure. So we're gonna make a lot of sentences. So did I speak? Did you speak? Did you speak? Did you speak? Did they speak? Did he speak? Did she speak? Did he speak? Did Tony speak? So what I'm gonna do, I'll unmute yourself. All you got to do, you need to give me all the sentences, right? So please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences. 3, 2, 1, go.
Did I speak?
They speak, did we speak?
Did you speak?
Did you speak? Did they speak? Did he speak? She speak? Did he speak? Did he speak?
Thank you. So now I'm gonna ask you one more time. Give me all the sentences using one breath. Don't take more than one breath, right? So please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Did I speak? Did we speak? Did you speak? Did you speak? Did they speak? He speak? She speak? Did he speak? Did Tony speak?
Can you please type in the chat box? Who can give me all the sentences using one breath? Say me. Okay, Nazmus Sadat said me. Anybody else? One breath. Okay. Rifat, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences using one breath?
Yes, sir. Did I speak? Did you speak? Did you speak? Did they speak? Did he speak? Did she speak? Did it speak? Did Tony speak?
Excellent. Please type in the chat box. Thanks, Rifat. I need another volunteer. Right. I need another volunteer. So who can give me all the sentences using one breath? Right. So Farooq, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences? Farooq Khan. You need to unmute yourself first. Okay, Hasina Akhtar, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences? You know the reason I'm asking some sort of people and they don't answer me. I feel that they didn't practice. That's why I'm asking those people, right? So when I used to be a teacher in the classroom, I would say who is practicing and who is not. And always I would ask the question, who didn't practice, right? So that's why if I ask you a question, that means I feel that you're not practicing. That's why I'm asking a question, right? So don't waste your time not to practice here. Be player, not viewers, not a spectator. Okay, anyway, so Rashid Ali, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences?
Yes. Did I speak? Did we speak? Did you speak? Did you speak? Did they speak? Did he speak? Did she speak? Did it speak? Did Tony speak?
Excellent, thank you. Please type in the chat box. Thanks. So now again, I'm going to unmute yourself one more time, and you need to give me all the sentences using one breath, right? So please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Did I speak? Did you speak? Did you speak?
Did you speak? Did you speak? Did you speak? Did he speak? Did he speak? Did Tony speak? It is
Excellent. So if you'd like to ask a question, you got to follow this structure. If you don't follow the structure, you are making mistakes, right? So that's why we are practicing time and again. So now what I'm gonna do, I will go to the next step, is using WS word. So can you please type in the chat box, WS plus did plus subject plus verb 2. Oh, sorry, verb 1. So WS plus did plus subject plus verb 1, question mark. Type in the chat box. You got to follow this structure right now. WS question. So WS plus did plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Right. So now if you'd like to make a lot of questions using why, so it's the same way. Why did I practice? Why did we practice? Why did you practice? Why did you practice? Why did they practice? Why did he practice? Why did she practice? Why did you practice? Why did Tony practice? So this is how we need to make a lot of sentences. You need to follow the sequence. So why did I practice? Why did we practice? Why did you practice? Why did you practice? Why did they practice? Why did he practice? Why did she practice? Why did it practice? Why did Tony practice? So I'd like to request you to take a screenshot if you can, or if you are using mobile phone, you can snap a shot so that next time you can follow this structure and you can practice a lot. So if you practice it 100 times, I would say you will never ever make any mistakes asking a question using this structure. So what I'm gonna do, I will request you to unmute yourself again, and you need to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 sentences using why. So you're gonna start with why. Why did I practice? Why did you 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 practice? Why did she practice? Right. So now what I'm gonna do, I will unmute yourself, and I will request you to give me all the sentences. Right. So please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Why did I practice?
Why did we practice? Why did you practice? Why did you practice? Why did they practice? Why did we practice? Why did she practice? Why did he practice? Why did he practice?
Why did you practice?
Thank you. So now we're gonna practice with when. When. Again, please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go. When did I practice?
When did I practice? When did you practice? When did
We practice. When did you practice? When did they? When did he practice? When did she practice? When did it practice? When did Tony practice?
Thank you. Thank you. So can you make all the sentences using one breath? So if you can, please type in the chat box 1. If you cannot, type in the chat box 2. Okay, I'd love to see how many of you can make, because if you cannot make the sentences all together in one breath, it's going to be really, really difficult for you while you are asking a question. So make sure you practice a lot. So now, okay, excellent. Thank you. So I can see out of like 30, 40 people, only 10, 12 people can make it. That means we need to practice a little bit more. So the next one is where, right? We're not going to say where. From now on, we're going to say where. Right. So where did I practice? Where did you practice? Where did you practice? Where did you practice? Where did they practice? Where did you practice? Where did she practice? Where did you practice? Where did Tony practice? So please unmute yourself and start with where. 3, 2, 1, go.
Why did I practice? Why did you practice? Why did you practice? Why did you practice?
Why did you practice? Why did you practice? Why did he practice? Why did she practice? So why did he practice?
Excellent. Thank you. So last one, not the last one. Second last one is how. So how did I practice, right? So please unmute yourself again one more time. 3, 2, 1, go.
How did I practice? How did you practice? How did you practice? How did you practice?
Why did you practice? How did you practice? How did they practice? How did he practice? How did she practice? How did it practice?
Last one is whose language did you practice? Whose language did you practice? Whose language did you practice, right? Please unmute yourself and let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Which language did I
Which
practice?
language did I practice? Which
Language
did you practice? Which language did you did I practice? Which language did he practice? Which language did you practice? Which language did it practice? Which language did Tony practice?
Excellent. Excellent. So I need a volunteer. So Lucky, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences using one breath? Your double question is which language? So you need to unmute yourself. Which language? Okay, Asma, can you please unmute yourself? Which language?
Which language did I practice? Which language did we practice? Which language did you practice? Which language did you practice? Which language did they practice? Which language did he practice? Which language did she practice? Which language did it practice? Which language did Tony practice?
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Please type in the chat box. Thanks, Asma. So now I'd like to get another one. So Nusrat, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences using why? Nusrat 1526. Please unmute yourself fast. So Natasha, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences using why?
Why did I practice? Why did we practice? Why did you practice? Why did you practice? Why did they practice? Why did he practice? Why did she practice? Why did it practice? Why did Tony practice?
How many breaths have you taken? Okay, excellent. Excellent. So we're going to practice together which language for the last time, because again, I'm gonna request you, please take a screenshot and practice it at your home, because we are practicing it and it seems so easy. But if you're learning a language like English, and if you don't practice this structure, you will struggle a lot. So we're going to practice it which language. So please unmute yourself, everyone. And this is the last time we're going to practice it. So please unmute yourself and let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. Which language?
Which language did you practice? 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 Which language practice? Which language did you practice?
Excellent. Thank you. So my question is, according to this structure, will you be able to make a lot of questions? Type in the chat box if you can. Please type in the chat box. If you follow this structure, if you practice a lot, will you be able to make a lot of sentences, especially interrogative sentence using WS question? Of course you can. So all you got to do, you need to practice this. Is very, very vital. Right. So there you go. This is the question. Holiday you enjoyed the most. And now I'm going to ask you a question. So you need to answer me on the chat box. So did you enjoy a holiday in your life? Type in the chat box. Did you ever enjoy a holiday in your life? Type in the chat box. So don't play shortcut. Yeah, the answer should be yes, I did. Yes, I did. So next question I'm going to ask you, where did you go for your holiday? Type in the chat box. Where did you go for holiday? Someone asked me a question, how could I improve myself in reading module of IELTS? So you got to wait to have a class with Steve. Steve will give you all the things, whatever you need to have in IELTS, right? Okay, so the next question is, where did you go for your holiday? Okay, Rahat, the answer should be I went, not was. I went to Cox's Bazar. I went for my holiday in Cox's Bazar. Okay, excellent. I went, Mari, in a holiday. Okay, so the question is, where did you go for your holiday? Okay, so you answered me using verb to, because I asked you a question using past from did, right? Where did you? And that's why you answer me using verb to. Excellent. So the next question is, when did you go there? When? Now, again, I'm asking you, when did you? So answer should be past. And I'm asking you a time. When? When did you go there? When did you go there? Type in the chat box. You got to be very, very quick. When did you go there? I went there around 2 years ago. Okay. I went there. When did you go there? When? I went there in 2019. Excellent answer. I went there. So I'm asking you about your holiday. I'm asking you about your holiday. If you ask me, what did you ever go to holiday? Yes, I did. Even in the last week, I went to Scotland. So when did you go there? I went there last week. Okay. So next question I'm going to ask you. How did you go there? How? How did you go there? How did you go there? Type in the chat box. How did you go there? I went there 2000. How did you go there? I went there by bus. Excellent answer. How did you go there? So I went to Scotland. If you ask me, how did you go there? I would say, I drove. I drove there, right? I went by car. So I went there by a private microbus. Excellent. I went there by train. Excellent. 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 That means you can answer, right? That means you can answer. Next question is, how long did you stay? Rahman Saim, he said, I went there by airplane. Yeah, so please check your spelling. Okay, so how long did you stay there? How long? So if you go for a holiday, at least you stay there 1 or 2 nights. So how long did you stay there? Shiti Desha, you said I stayed there for 5 days. I asked the question, how long did? Is it present or past form? So it's past form. So answer should be in verb 2. I stayed there. Excellent answer. I stayed there for 2 weeks. I stayed there for 2 weeks. Right? So do you have an interesting memory with that particular holiday? Do you have an interesting memory with that particular holiday? You know, exactly this thing happened to your IELTS speaking test. So examiner gave you a cue card, and this cue card is asked a lot of questions regarding the past. All of a sudden is asking a present form. An interesting memory with that particular holiday, but it still is in past tense, but the question is, it sounds like present form, right? So now this is the question I have asked you. Now all you got to do, you need to make it a bit bigger, better. For example, the first question is a holiday enjoyed the most. Where did you go? Right? So you need to make 2-3 sentences about the place. Where did you go? So someone said Cox's Bazar. You can say, you know, the place I enjoyed the most for my holiday is in Cox's Bazar, and is 200 kilometers away from my house where I live in, and it's a beautiful place, and it's the longest series in the world. So you have given 3-4 sentences, right? So the question is, where did he go? And you have given a lot of information, 3-4 sentences. Next sentence is said, when did you go there? You can say, you know, I went there last month and it was quite sunny because it's summer. It's a lovely weather. Yeah, so you get 2-3 sentences. And next question, how did you go there? You know, basically I went there by train, but I got to take a taxi from my house to go to train station, and the train journey, it was very lovely, and we arrived there, and it took like 2-3 hours or 5 hours in Cox's Bazar. How long did you stay there? Then you can say, I stayed there 3 nights and 4 days, but I was supposed to stay there 2 nights and 3 days, but the place was so lovely. Even we missed so many places we couldn't visit. That's why we extended our holiday 1 day more. We requested our hotel to extend one night extra. And yeah, that was a lovely journey. And the last question is an interesting memory with that particular holiday. So whatever happened to your life in regarding that holiday, you can give a story. And you know, in IELTS exam, and this is also very important history I'd like to share with you is, so there was a student who is living in USA for a long time, and the gentleman would like to get PhD, and he studied his bachelor degree and master's from US University. So when he sat for IELTS exam, the first time he got 7.5, and second time he got 8.5. So someone was interviewing him, and he was a university lecturer as well. And he said, what made you to get such a brilliant score, 8.5 from 7.5? And he said one thing. He said, the first time I was very truthful. I was thinking I got to be truthful. And second time, I just made a story. So for the first time, his exam, he was asked, he's middle-aged, I would say, senior citizen. So he was asked, do you enjoy shopping online? And he said, no, I don't. This was his answer. So examiner has got a lot of questions, but he or she couldn't answer him. So you don't have to be very, very truthful in your IELTS exam. You know how to make a story. So you should make a story, because if you don't speak, if you don't talk, how the examiner will measure your speaking ability? So that's why you need to give examiner an opportunity to listen to you. That's why keep speaking, but make sure whatever you are speaking, that's the right. So that time the gentleman, I mean university professor, he said in IELTS exam, you don't have to be truthful, make a story. And the next time, whatever he was asked, so he made a lot of stories. He showed himself that he has got full grasp of English, and he scored 8.5. So the same way, I would like to request you. So even if you don't do this, try to say a lot of things, right? And this is how your examiner will measure your also speaking ability, right? So this is the topic. Holiday you enjoyed the most. Where did you go and when did you go there? How did you? So what I'm gonna do, I'll request to unmute yourself and you need to give a presentation right now. So how I'm gonna give a presentation? You need to say something like this: hi everyone, my name is Habib, and today I'd like to share with you a holiday I enjoyed the most. And it was a long holiday for 7 days. I went to Scotland, and it's 430 kilometers away where I live in. And I live in London. So it was quite funny. I went there by a car. I got a gift on Eid day. That was Range Rover, and I was trying my level best to get the car before my holiday because I was planning to drive it to Scotland. And it took us. It usually takes 7 hours, but it took us 10 hours because we were 3 families, 3 cars, and there are a lot of kids over there. So, they need to have some sort of foods, they need to go to the washroom, toilet, whatever you say. And that's why we had to take a lot of breaks to the services. And that's why it took us 10 or 11 hours. We stayed there for 7 days and we visited a lot of places, and there was a lot of beautiful places. And I mean, due to the time, I couldn't share a lot of things, but there are lots of islands. One of them is called Isle of Arran. It's a nice island. I mean, if you go where we booked our holiday house, it took 30 minutes to go to the ferry, and you got to take a ferry. I mean, if you go by car, and once you across the island, what is called channel, then you're gonna go to the island, and you have got the whole day to roam around there. But before night, you got to leave the island because no one is living there apart from some people who are residents. So finally, I'd like to share an interesting memory with that particular holiday. So there was island, and the weather was not that much good. I'm talking about another island. It's called Isle of Bute, and it was around 1:30. So the kids were so hungry, and we looked around so many places to have some foods. And as we are Muslims, so we are looking for halal food as well. But in the UK, they love pork, so we don't eat it. So I think around 30 or 40 minutes, we drive down here and there, but we couldn't find even a shop. And finally, we found the shop, and they didn't have lots of foods, and whatever we had, we bought that, some cheese, breads, and all that stuff. And we didn't have even that much water and soft drink as well. So however, we had some Cokes and some other drinks, so we bought them. We came into the car, and it was raining outside as well. We had that much food, and that was very tasty. I think hungry, that made the food tasty. So that was the interesting memory, though it was painful for the kids. And that's I got to share with you. So thanks for listening to me. So all you got to do now, I'm gonna give you this topic, and you need to think about 2 minutes, and then you need to speak about it. Are you ready? So if you're ready, please type in the chat box ready. I would like to see how many of you are really ready to talk about the topic. Okay, so someone said ready. Ryan said ready. Sharpudin said ready. So all you got to do, you need to answer it, but don't answer me in 1 sentence. Try to give me the answer in 2-3 sentences. And I gave a lot of example how you're going to make a lot of sentences. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about it. So just talk about this. So you need to start something like a holiday I enjoyed the most. And then you need to answer this question. And for each question, you need to answer at least 3-4 sentences. And this is how you got to make a lot of sentences. And if you practice like 50 topic like this, I can guarantee you, you're going to get at least 6.5 to 7 in IELTS speaking. Just if you follow through this route, what I just taught you, you're going to get 6.5 to 7 in IELTS speaking, right? So all you got to do, you need to take a lot of topic like this every day. You need to practice at least 5. So just this is how I'm going to give you breakdown. So once you get the topic, you need to ask question, where did you go? I went to Scotland. Now, okay, I answered that I went to Scotland. So how can I make 2-3 more sentences? Well, the holiday I enjoyed the most, it was in Scotland. We went there with 3 families, and it was 440 kilometers away, just where I live in. See, I made 3-4 sentences. Next question. So when did you go there? I went there last week. Now, how can I make 2 more sentences? So then you can start speaking. So we booked this holiday a long time ago, I think 6 months ago, because during the summer you can't book it because it's not available. Everyone wants to go to holiday on summer. We went there last week and it was lovely. So next one is, how did you go there? So I can answer you. I drove, or I went there by car. But I was saying I drove, I went there, or I went there by car, and I got a gift, Range Rover, on each day. And that was a gift from myself, because, you know, once you achieve something, you need to celebrate. That was some sort of celebration for me. And I was trying my best to get the Range Rover before my holiday, because I was planning to drive down to Scotland. So see, I made 3-4 sentences. And next question is, how long did you stay there? So we booked it for 7 days, but it was so lovely. We couldn't make a lot of places to visit. That's why we extended 1 day, and we stayed there for 8 days. So just I'm trying to extend. The next one is an interesting memory with that particular holiday. So whatever the memory you have got, it might be bad, it might be excellent, it might be good. So you need to share. Did you understand? So if you understand, type in the chat box, I do, or understood. Type in the chat box, understood. I'd like to see how many of you really understood how to solve the cue card in IELTS speaking. Okay, excellent, excellent. So this is how you need to practice, and you need to do it. So now what I'm gonna do, I will unmute yourself, and I will try to give a try, right? So please unmute yourself, and you need to give a presentation on this all together, right? So I'm gonna unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Hi everyone.
Yeah, I want to share. I enjoyed
A beautiful holiday with my family.
Share.
Last month
I would like to
we
say
went to
about
Srimangal. It's the
We went there by car.
Many places.
houses
My
in
father's
my
car, and
holiday.
and
It was a beautiful city.
went
we stayed there
in this it is
For
a
5 days,
5 days.
and
Spent a holiday.
and
I went
we
there
visited
in
some places.
2020. It was a
important
I went to there in
so
2007. I went to Nagawati by
I hope
train.
I
My
I
brother
stayed there
will
8
go
days.
again
That was very,
visited
very
Nepal.
beautiful
We had
days
it's
of my life.
we go
The main
there
interesting
by
memories.
train.
One of them, there are
most of the
many
time my family
fruits
members
garden
talked about
like
this
mangoes,
time and
bananas.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So now, so this is the topic. You need to talk for 2 minutes, and this is how you need to practice. However, your homework is this, right? Your homework is this. What did you do yesterday? Because this is the very basic. If you don't work on any basic, if you make a lot of mistakes, is gonna affect your IELTS speaking score. So that's why I recommend you please work on it, the basic one, because this is like formula. So what did you do yesterday? You need to practice 10 times in front of the mirror, and you need to record your video, and I love to see your video inside the Facebook group. So now, time to ask the last question. So how many of you think you're gonna practice it and you're gonna upload your video in Facebook group? Type in the chat box homework if you'd like to submit your homework. Type in the chat box homework. I'd like to see how many of you would like to practice it, do it, record it, and submit your homework. Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So now I have got a question. Question is this. Type in the chat box. So if you think, I'm asking for a feedback. So if you think if it is outstanding, 10 out of 10, so say outstanding. If it is excellent, say 7, that means 7 plus. If it is okay, 5 plus. Type in the chat box. Rate the 6-day challenge. How did you find it? How did you find it? Okay, so I've said 10, 10. Okay, so outstanding. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. So I love to see you tomorrow. I would be there with you because I would like to share a few things with you, with Farhan as well. So don't miss the next class. That's gonna be all about the guidelines. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was a language teacher, so I was asking a lot of questions to my students. So how much money do you need to go to the UK? Because I was a family member of a lower middle class family. My father was a high school teacher. My mother was a primary school teacher. I haven't imagined that I'm gonna come to UK and study at Birmingham City University, paying like 9,750. I'm talking about 2010, right? So that time, one of my students said, "Sir, you ask always a lot of questions like how much money do I need? How much do you have to pay in front? And after flying, how can I manage those sort of money? You ask a lot of questions. Why don't you go to a seminar?" I said, "Okay." And he said, "Are you free today? Do you have any class after lunch?" I said, "No, I don't have any class." He said, "I'm going to a seminar. There would be a university representative, and they're gonna give you all the information. If you've got a question, and you can ask." And I said, "Why not?" Then I quickly had my lunch and I left my institution where I used to teach, and I had a diary with me, and I went there. And the university presenter, he came. He was international officer, and he came to the platform and he gave a lot of information. I was just taking notes. And at the end, there was Q&A session, and I raised my hand and asked all my questions, right? And what I found is, this is not all about the money. This is combination of few things. I left the seminar, I took my phone, I called my dad, I said, "I want to do my master's from UK University." That's it. That's what I made the decision. You know why? Because I found one information that changed my whole life. And that was PSW. Type in the chat box if you understand what I just said. PSW. Type in the chat box. PSW. That means post-study work, right? That means 2 years work permit. So once I finish my degree, I will get 2 years work permit, and I can work full time. And that's the question I asked to the seminar guy. I said, after finishing my course, can I get my money back? And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, no, I didn't mean that. I said, after finishing my course, can I work and can I save some money and can I get the whole money what I invested myself as a tuition fees? And then he said, "Of course you can. Let's say you have got 2 years work permit, PSW, post-study work visa. So if you save £1,000 every month, so in 24 months, that means 2 years, you are saving £24,000. That means that equivalent to 30 lakhs Bangladeshi taka." That moment I was thinking, wow. So I got to deposit a certain amount of money to the university. They're gonna give me offer letter, cast letter, whatever you say. Then I'm gonna fly to the UK. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna save some money. Then I'm gonna pay my rest of the tuition fees. And exactly I did that. So I was thinking, okay, why not? That moment I made the decision that, well, I got to fly to the UK. So I'm gonna study a world-class university. Once I come back, even in Bangladesh, probably I'm gonna get a better job because it's the master's degree from UK university. That's the second thing is I will have 30 lakhs taka in my pocket. What else I want, right? So that's the best decision I made in my life. And still, I remember that student that, you never know who can help you. So see, one of my students, he changed my life, giving some sort of information. So information is everything. And once you get the information, and if you don't work on it, it's nothing. So with the assistant of my student. I got the information and I work on it. I utilized it, and today here I am. Right. So thanks for watching this video and joining my class. And if you're watching from YouTube, thank you joining us. If you've got any more questions, I'm gonna give my personal number as well. Is +44743 2089 if you've got any questions regarding the university admission, IELTS course, bank solvency, whatever related to your study, I am happy to answer it. So what I'm gonna do, I will put the number on the chat box as well. Is +44743 2089 So you can reach out to me on WhatsApp as well. Is available this number on WhatsApp. Let me correct. +44743 2089 Yeah. So see you tomorrow. Until then, Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.